Okay, welcome everybody to our live today. It's Friday, it's 1 o'clock. I am live on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/language arts success. I am also live on Instagram at the same time through my phone, trying to do it all at once so that I can be in two places at once. So thank you so much for joining me. Definitely give me a wave, put a comment in the comments and let me know that you are here. What do you do when life is feeling a little bit rushed and harried and you just feel like you can't fit it all in? How do people do it? How do they manage? Well, today I want to talk about building margin into our lives and what that will mean. So please take a deep breath. Find some peace and calm in your day right now, and hopefully that you are able to just sit and enjoy this moment. It won't be super long, so I hope that you can enjoy being with us today. I want to, first of all, talk about what is margin and how do you get that in your life? So, when we write an essay or a paper, or when we look in a book, the blank spaces around the edge, those are our margins. And in our lives, it's really, really important that we find some margin. Life wants us to feel as though everything is a priority, as everything is an emergency and it has to happen right now. And I'm here to tell you that everything is not an emergency. And you can plan and prepare to have some margin in your life. So I sent an email earlier this week about margin in our lives, and I wanted to follow that up just with a live with you and share how I find some margin in my life and how I've done that in my homeschool, how I do that in my life in general. And okay, spoiler alert, it's very simple, but it's not easy. And it's not easy because it requires follow through and it requires diligence in weeding out those things that don't really matter and focusing on the things that really, really do. So let's think for a moment, what would the advantages be of having some margin in our lives, to having a space in our life where we can breathe and we don't feel rushed? And some of the things that margin allows us is it allows us for things not to go perfectly. Those mornings when you can't find your kid's shoes or your car keys or your wallet or your phone and you have to get to somewhere. If we have a little bit of margin, that wouldn't be nearly so stressful. And it allows us to take care of our own dreams and goals. It allows us to pursue the things that we find valuable and important in life. And that also allows our students and our children to see us actually doing that, to see us pursuing things and learning things and practicing things. And that is so, so important for our kids, that we are a model for them, that we don't just tell them to learn, but we show them that it really, really matters. Okay, margin also allows us to spontaneously make a difference in someone's life. It allows us to stop and have a coffee when someone needs to talk. It allows us to go and, make a phone call or do things when God puts something in our heart, in our minds. So we're able to actually make a difference in someone else's life instead of just go, 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 go all of the time. And have you noticed that some people manage this better than other people? We all have the same number of hours in the day, don't we? And I'm pretty sure those people sleep. They must. So here's the short answer. How do we get margin? Here's the quick and dirty way. Number 1, do less. Number 2, outsource. Okay? Yeah, it's not quite that easy, is it? Sounds simple. It sounds ruthless. And very honestly, when you begin, this might feel a little bit ruthless. It might feel like you are scratching things off your list so fast. But just imagine for a moment what it would feel like to have your child melting down over a math problem or over a writing assignment, and you to be able to say, look, It's okay. Let's just go get a drink and we're going to sit on the couch and we're going to cuddle up and we're going to talk about this in a few minutes when you calm down. Instead of feeling as though you had to get that assignment done so that you could move on to the next one. That's what margin does. It allows us to be the people and the parents that we want to be. So the first thing we have to do is, before we can get to have margin, is you need to set aside some time to just prepare for this. And I know that that seems like impossible when everything is like going and rushing. You know what? I'm here to tell you a really hard truth, and maybe some of you aren't going to like to hear it, but the very hard truth is the things that really matter, the things that really matter to you, they get done. Ouch, right? I know, because my husband has told me this. You know what? If exercise really mattered to you, yeah, I know, I'd do more of it, wouldn't I? And it does matter, just not high enough on my priorities yet. Okay, so let's make this a priority. If you really want to make a change in your life, if you really want to make a change, if you want to make a difference, you have to set some time aside to do this. And it's going to take a little bit of time to be able to really figure it out. So set aside a couple of afternoons. If you can get a whole day, how beautiful would that be to be able to just put some music on and make some tea and have a day. Can't do it at home? Find some childcare, go to McDonald's. They will give you free coffee all day long. You just sit there and you work, and they've got great Wi-Fi. So there you are. You can sit and you can go with a notebook and you can plan. So the first thing we have to do is we have to plan to prioritize. And the only way we can prioritize things is to know what really matters in our lives. What are our goals? What are our dreams? What are we shooting for? I bet we are not shooting for constant running and stress and fighting with our kids and being frustrated all of the time and feeling like we're behind and everything is an emergency. That's probably not our goal. It's not my goal. Is it your goal? I really don't think so. We get stuck in this rat race. So what really matters? What are your goals for your homeschool? What are your goals for your family? What is your spouse's goals? What are your kids' goals and dreams? What do you want to be like? Wouldn't it be beautiful to have a day to just talk about this with our spouse? I think mine would be done in about half an hour. He's not going to want to talk that long about it, but really, really, what matters? Why are you doing this? Why are you homeschooling? Why are you pushing your child to succeed? Okay, think about those things and then write down every single thing you do in a day. And I mean every single thing. You make snacks, you wash dishes, you do laundry, you do everything. Okay, write down everything you do and then separate it. Some things just have to happen just because we have to live. So we have to eat, we have to cook, we have to clean, we have to shop. We have to figure it out, right? Those things have to happen. So make a list with all those things. And make a list with all the other things you do, all the extracurriculars, every piece of curriculum you use, every class that your students take, everything, write everything down. And go through every one and ask yourself, is this really getting to my goal? Is this extracurricular really making a difference in where we're hoping to go as a family? Is this curriculum really doing what my goal for my homeschool is? If it's not, cross it. It's not worth it. Strike it off. If it's not helping you reach your goal, if you have something on there that's helping you reach your goal, but it causes unbelievable stress, put a star beside it. See what you can do about fixing the stress that goes around that or the time that that takes in your life. Okay, so that's the first piece. You just have to be ruthless. Pare it down. Find out, okay, well, maybe you've scratched a whole bunch of things off your list, but now you need to find things. Oh dear. That's okay. You'll have time, right? You have time. I want to also say, especially if you have an older student, I mean like 10 and up, 9 and up, take them on a donut date, take them and go and talk about, like, what do you want school to be? What are your dreams? What are your goals? How can we make this reach what you want it to be. And yeah, they might say they just want everything to be fun. Well, you know what? They can just have to understand that not everything is going to be fun all of the time. And that's okay. They're going to have to learn that too. But it's a good opportunity to ask their question. Okay, so the second thing we have to do is we have to head off hassles. So one of those hassles is travel time. So when you look at your schedule, write down how much time it takes to travel to and from. So write down what time you have to leave the house and what time you get home, realistically. Like not, oh, it should take 20 minutes, but really it takes 40 minutes. Then write down 40 minutes, because what it really takes is what it really takes in your life. Okay, so look for the hassles. Okay, you've got laundry, you've got dishes, you've got all these little things, and they come up again and again and again, and they're frustrating and they're stressful. Let's head that off. Let's make a plan for it. What are you teaching your kids about taking care of the home? How can they contribute? How can you schedule and make a plan? So maybe you're all working together. So maybe like 1 day a week or 3 days a week, you schedule like time on the calendar to actually just work, to clean. Okay, everybody, it's cleaning time. Here's your list, here's your list, here's your list, and ready, set, go. The first one done is going to get whatever, right? A chocolate bar or whatever it is, right? Like just do whatever it takes to make it happen. And that's going to help a lot. Okay, another way we head off hassles is we schedule. Now, this sounds completely counterintuitive, and hear me out before you like go crazy. I told my husband this and he went, that is not the same as having extra time. It absolutely is the same. Okay, fill your calendar. Do not leave a blank. Don't. Start with all the things that must be done. Schedule them. But schedule them with margin. So if your math is supposed to take a half an hour, schedule 45 minutes or schedule an hour. Because what happens when you have the meltdown? What happens when, you know, you don't quite get there in time, or they need to go to the bathroom in the middle and they go off and they start playing because you're busy doing something else and you don't notice? What happens when, see, I've homeschooled. What happens when, you know, like you're just having a bad day and they're just not getting it? What happens when you have to stop for a snack? Like, just, I mean, I get it. I have like low glycemic people in my house, and if we don't eat, oh man, the world comes to an end. And you know what? Food fixes a lot of problems. So really, really figure it out. Build the margin into the schedule. If it takes an hour, book an hour and a half. Like seriously, give yourself time. When you have an extracurricular and you figure out, well, we have to leave the house at this time and we get back to the house at this time, schedule prep time before you go, because you're going to have to find the things you need and find the shoes and find the coats and get the kids and get in the car. How long does that take? Build some margin. Don't have your school schedule ending the minute you're supposed to be getting in the car, because then you have that constant like, come on, we got to go, we got to go, we got to go. Right? That's what we're trying to avoid. So we're going to head off hassles by building margin into our calendar. Once we put all of the things that have to happen on the calendar, that have to happen at certain times on the calendar, then we schedule the other things that have to happen, but they could go somewhere else. And maybe you want to do this a different color. I'm a color person. Okay, because those things can shuffle around on the calendar. Like they can change in the day, they can change in the week. It's okay. And then you're going to add those cleaning tasks and laundry tasks. And, you know, maybe you're a Saturday cleaner. And so every morning, everyone gets up and you have a family breakfast and then everybody cleans. And it's like an hour or 2 hours. And this is what we're doing. Whatever works for your family. In my family, when I was growing up, my mom wanted to make sure that we all learned all of the different things. And she took all of the household chores, and every month we had a different chore list, and it just rotated. She took one chore list, my brother took one chore list, and I took one chore list, and it just rotated. So some weeks my job was to clean the bathrooms and wash the floors and vacuum and wash the floors. Some some months my job was to do the laundry and iron my dad's shirts. Some months it was right. So just whatever works for you. There's so many ways you can do it. So many ways. And I've tried out and played with tons of different ones. And I'm not very good at doing the same thing all the time. So I keep changing it up. And that's okay. You just have to do what works for you. So build it into your schedule. Then you're going to see little gaps here and there. Can you consolidate some of those gaps? Can you give yourself a space to actually shoot for something you want to do? What goals do you have? What do you want to learn about? Or maybe when your student is doing writing, maybe you should do writing. If you're not sure how to write an essay, well, then learn alongside them, write your own essay. What a better way for them to realize that it really does matter. Okay, so that's the third thing. And the fourth thing is to outsource. Don't get overloaded, just outsource. So the things that you have stars on, those subjects in school, those tasks that just stress you out. Maybe it's shopping, grocery shopping. Maybe it's grocery shopping. Order pickup, order delivery. I mean, delivery is kind of expensive, but you can pick up your groceries at the grocery store for quite inexpensive. I think where I live, it's like $3 or something to have my groceries all paid for, all bagged and in the car. And they are so good about it. Unbelievable. There are ways around it. Is there a subject that you feel that you can't do well? Is there a subject that is stressing your student out that you're always at loggerheads about? Outsource it. Find a friend, find a family member, trade things. You can trade with somebody else. Hey, you know what? I'm a math person. I'll teach our kids math. And if you teach our kids something else, you can do that. There's no reason why you can't. If you're left and you don't have people like that in your life, or you don't have people like that for a subject that you need, go and look. There's lots online. I would love to mentor your student and help you with your language arts if that is going to help you. Very often in middle school and high school, parents start to feel overwhelmed by grading and marking. They're not really sure how to do it or what feedback to give. So it becomes stressful. Many of them just don't feel like they know what to say or what to do or how to go about it. And I would be happy to help take that off your plate and create some margin in your life, because now I'm going to teach your student how to be self-motivated, self-disciplined, how to take on the task themselves, how to keep their own calendar, how to follow through. Those are skills that are really going to matter. And they're not going to happen like that. And I'm going to work with them the same as you do, but I know my kids don't like to hear it from me either, but man, they take it from someone else so much better. And sometimes that's all it is. They just need to hear from somebody else. So I want to encourage you today. You can find space in your life. You can find margin. You can find a place of peace and calm. It does take work. It takes discipline. And I have a special offer today. So I had a parent say to me, hey, you should offer this success mindset for parents. That would be so great. And so it got me thinking, because so many parents struggle with follow through. They struggle with their own personal goal setting. And so they struggle teaching that to their kids. And I have an opportunity. I want to offer just for parents 12 weeks. It's just once a week virtual class with the one-on-one goal setting at the beginning with me. So we will talk about your goals, we'll talk about your dreams, and we'll make a plan. We'll work on daily habits, we will work on accountability. And during that 12-week period, I really hope that maybe you'll be able to buddy up with someone in the class so that you can keep each other accountable afterwards. So it'll be that once a week virtual class, and it will be a private Facebook group where we will talk back and forth and ask each other how things are going, keep each other accountable, make sure that we're doing the things that really, really matter. So if you're interested in that, comment below. I'll get back to you. Just comment, hey, I want success mindset. I would love to get in touch with you. It is not super expensive, and I would love to offer it to my parents, because when parents figure it out, it's so much easier for the kids to figure out. So thank you so much for joining me today. I so appreciate you coming by. paying attention. Pop hashtag replay in there if you're watching this on the replay. And thank you so much for following Discern to Learn. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/language-arts-success. Instagram, discern_to_learn. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter. Check me out on YouTube. You'll find lots of videos there. And I want to be a support to you. So follow me, subscribe on all my social media, and that would be awesome. Have an awesome day and a great week, and I will talk to you again soon.